Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another exciting episode of Murel Looks At. This week we're looking at zombie office politics, brought to us by the good people at Gateside Games, and a big shout out to Gateside Games for sending us a free copy to review. I do appreciate it, it makes our lives so much easier, and if there are any devs out there, indie or otherwise, who want to give us a copy to review, we will review it. I swear. May take a little bit to get around to, but we will do it in the end. Now, this is a neat little Binding of Isaac sort of game. I don't want to call it a twin-stick shooter, but I suppose it is. You're essentially just a fellow in an office starting his first day, and the stress is turning everyone into zombies. Your goal is to get from one floor to the end, I'm assuming, to defeat all the zombies. Haven't beaten the game yet, but I'm working on it. Unfortunately, a little bit ago, I did run into an issue where I saved over my file, which had a few hours in. So, I guess, if Gateside Games is looking, your next update, maybe a, hey, are you sure you want to overwrite your save file, would be nice. Other than that, let's get started. We're just going to start over that, because, unfortunately, that was my good file. So here we are, our first day. There was a bit of complaint about the controls initially. Oh, what do you want to talk about? Hello, it's my first day here, thanks. Accumulate great wealth. Let's go with skill this time. It's kind of neat. While you're talking to people, you can collect things. Very standard collect, improve your stats, everything. You save, go into the water cooler, which is something I thought was hilarious. As someone who, unfortunately, does spend 40 hours a week in an office, this game spoke to me on some levels. But yeah, initially the controls weren't thought to be great. They were kind of counterintuitive, but the last update did change it to the WSAD keys. Oh, and look, there's a quest here. What do you want to talk about? Hello, I'm new here. You took your sweet time. This is our boss. Nod vigorously. If you're late, I take it as a personal undermining of my authority. I'm very insecure, but a strategy of sarcasm has seen me through this far. I think we all know people like that. If you mess up, whoop. One coffee added to our inventory. That's great. So that's something that'll give us a little boost to speed. What do you want to talk about? Okay, I'm ready to learn. Just skipping through these. 50 balls. Perfect. Now, one thing I have noticed is ammo is a little difficult to come by in this game. What does Melissa want? What do you want to talk about? Any useful advice? Do you see that vending machine? I do. Yes, you can purchase supplies from vending machines. I really like it. It's well done. In a lot of ways, the graphics are neat. They're pixel, but they're not, ridiculously pixel. I'm just going through these. I don't know why. Just to talk. But, it works well. Your save points are water coolers, which I like. You get vending machines, are where you get supplies from. Oh, and we're gonna pick up, I think these are Chuck's Lucky Underwear, or Colin's Lucky Underwear. And let's keep going. So you get your ammunition right now. We're using paper balls. Hopefully we'll pick up some DVDs here shortly. You just move WSAD keys. You can scroll through your inventory down here with your mouse button. And then you click to shoot. And one thing I like that they do here that I find a lot of these shooting type games don't do is you can fire on the diagonal. Now, down here's your health. And that is actually your stress level. So if you get too stressed out, you become a zombie as well. Oh, DVDs, we're going to save those. Oh, so, assigned to your project, no time for freeloaders, of course. We're in the meeting room in HR on the first floor, make your way. So we have our first real storyline quest. We have to get to HR to talk to Claire. There we go. And because we are working every once in a while, it will pop up like that and say, we've been paid. Down here's an experience meter. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's just how many zombies you killed. I have some headphones around here. I'll just plug in music. Big sign that says, everyone shut up, whatever it takes. Water coolers are situated around the office. They're just telling us. This is essentially the tutorial level. And one thing you may have noticed, you can actually move those chairs around to create blockages for the zombies. I actually had one mission quite recently where, unfortunately, I kept getting killed by a boss, and then she trapped herself behind some chairs, so I just kind of stood, ate a donut, and used some DVDs as projectiles. Oh, and some more coffee down here. Now, if you check out the game on the IndieDB page, which is linked down both in my article and down in the description, they do say this isn't, I guess, procedurally generated. The devs actually did design the levels, so it is the same office every time, and you're going to find out eventually that there's some places that you have to pay attention to, rooms that are very obviously going to be big fights. Here we go, explosive mines, the weapons that do more damage to me than the enemies I find. Hello, Colin. I think these are his lucky pants. I think we are wearing this man's underwear. How's it going? I'm just psyching myself up for a day's work. But what about all the zombies roaming around the office? Seriously, just run, man. There we go, in 30 DVDs. Also, one thing I have enjoyed is the dialogue in this game is kinda neat. You don't really think about the dialogue in a twin-stick shooter being all that important, and it's really not, but it does add a nice layer to the game. So hopefully we're gonna get to Claire in HR. That's my goal. This isn't going to be a Let's Play. Again, this is just a Let's Look At. Oh, sugar. Ah! Oh, shit. Shit. Got distracted by all the zombies. Okay, let's clear this out. We're running low on ammo. I think one thing I did mean to mention, not 100% sure if I did, sometimes I forget what I say when I'm doing these things, but the ammunition you use actually bounces. So if you huck something at somebody and it hits a flat surface, it's going to bounce about a 45-degree angle, but it still does damage, which I thought was actually pretty cool. So we're going to get away here. We're going to talk to her. She's going to give us a quest. She's stressed out. We're going to go looking for a relaxation room, which I believe is up this way. Any gossip, new machine being installed, and I'm not going to chat with him for too long. But yes, there's also a vending machine where you can, trying to word this properly, a machine where you can upgrade your, oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. Your things, and herbal tea, where we're talking about stress here, that's going to be your health potions, if you will. And while we're at it, should probably switch some things around here. There's Colin's Lucky Pants. And here we go, our current grade is R-Slicker. Nice British game here. Next promotion is in this many stress levels here. And then down here, our different items obviously affect our stats. We have +1 luck, but we're not quite popular. And by not quite popular, I do mean we're not popular at all. Now, my only concern here is we don't have a ton of ammunition. And I really do hate going through those dark rooms. There's a birthday party quest that it took me easily 20 minutes to get past. Like I said, I don't like dark rooms. Now, this was recently greenlit on Steam, I believe. Oh, shit. It was greenlit on the 3rd of December, so it took me about a month to get to it. And again, I do apologize, Gateside Games. They did message me as soon as this hit greenlight, and or as soon as it got greenlit, and I just didn't have time to get around to it. I'm screwed. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay, good. Now, your salary that pops up is a reward based on your level, and that will go up as you do level up, which is nice. Oh, sugar. Oh, sugar. Oh, thank God. However, we are really hurting for ammunition. Oh, good. Good. And we'll run over here to save the game. Now, one thing I didn't realize, and I'm going to point out to anyone who's watching this, is those checkpoints are reusable. Here we go. Push the cushions around. Hello, Vernon. Is this the fabled chill-out room? To be quiet, a small donation? Just don't mess with my cushions. Whoops. Dick. And I'm gonna take his hamburger. Actually, what does the hamburger do? Composure +8. What I really want is donuts. I have to be a little more conservative with my ammunition now. Oh, we're just gonna head back and turn this quest in, though. And that's another thing I quite enjoy about this, is the side quests. There is, obviously, since it's been designed this way, a very linear way that you can get to it, but there's lots of hidden places you can explore, as well as side quests that will take you different places. Obviously, where this was a dead end, it wasn't part of the linear bit, but because we have the side quest, it made us explore over here. This is why I don't like dark rooms. I'm just gonna try running from them for now, because I think she gives us... Oh, more barricades. Also, drops respawn when you leave, which is something I hadn't expected, but it's something I did quite like. Makes it a bit easier. I found the chill-out room. My pleasure. And hair gels. Okay. How are you getting on? Okay. So apparently she's using the chill-out room by proxy. 50 ammos. Now, ammunition, at least in the beginning, can be a little scarce. This is the closest I've come to running out of it. Quite recently, anyway. There we go, a nice bounce shot. So, it does pay to be a little conservative at times. Knew that was coming. Now, for those of you who don't like to use the mouse, which I do, there are, I think it's, E also works as a throw, for those of you who do enjoy just playing with the keyboard. However, I am a keyboard and mouse person, so be it. There we go. Now, one minor drawback I am facing is the game is a little loud. By default, it's quite loud. But, again, a small concern, really. That's all I have to complain about. And I mean, this game's at, I think it's $5.49 Canadian, so $1.50 American, or £1 sterling. No, I'm kidding. The Canadian dollar's not that bad. But you're going to be looking, this is probably a game in the $3.99 price range. If you're into twin-stick shooters, you're going to get your money out of it. That's the long and the short of it. Now, this isn't my #1 favorite genre. I do have a few... Oh, sugar. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I do have a few hours logged in Binding of Isaac. Played Wizard's Lizard. And... Oh, ow. Early access. Ah, shit. There we go. But it's not my go-to, but I've actually found myself enjoying this much more than I initially thought. Now, for those of you who are looking at this on the Steam page, it does have a mixed review. And if you go through, there hasn't been a ton of... This is actually an area I missed on my first playthrough. Hey there, what are you up to? Thought you'd never ask. See that whizzy-looking contraption behind you? Oh, good. This is the... Oh, this is the upgrade machine. Okay, that's great. I actually haven't seen it. Okay, that's exciting. I'm gonna go over here and save. But yes, most of the negative reviews on the Steam page have been... I guess their complaint was more about the control scheme than anything. Now, I haven't actually... Holding down the control button. Okay. Yeah, I didn't actually play it with the old controls, so I don't really know how bad they were. It's not letting me recycle anything. What about a hamburger? I probably should have read her instructions a little better. Let's go back to her then. Yeah, so I can't really say for sure Wizzy looking contraption or in front of you depending on which way you're facing. Good that my friend is a newly installed recycling machine. You can use it to recycle your old stuff into super special new stuff. Seem to remember something about coffee, DVD, herbal tea, coffee. I can't remember. Okay. So this is something that we're obviously going to need to learn recipes for, but let's try mixing these two and seeing what happens. No, and I don't have any DVDs, so we're just going to scratch this one up for a checkout later. Possibly. But yeah, sorry for being so scatterbrained. As far as the old controls go, I only started playing this after the new controls were put in, so that's not a deterrent for me. I'd say if you're reading this, or I suppose watching this, go check out the store page. If you think this looks like a game you could enjoy, support an indie dev. It's, you know, a $5 game at best, at most, and you're going to get your time in it. That being said, it is really frustrating at times until you start learning the spawns. I know I'm probably making this look really easy, but I can't even explain the amount of times I've had to go through some of these levels until I learned exactly where the spawn points were. And for some of you, that may be a bit of an annoyance. It didn't really bother me too much. I definitely did step away a couple times to have a cigarette and think about my life, but, you know, it's not a point against the game. Today I'm taking some time out to study for my CBA, and I'm only reading this because this is probably one of my favorite dialogues. That's great, but don't you mean an MBA? No, CBA can't be arsed. I see what you did there. For you Yanks out there, that means you can't be bothered. And don't worry, I'm Canadian, we speak British. And I think we are almost to our... Oh, shit. Really? How many of those did that get? Not enough. Now, one thing I do feel the need to point out is when you're in your inventory or talking to people, the game pauses, so don't be afraid to go in there and try and root around if you need something. The zombies aren't going to get you. So where do we have to go now? It's down this way. And we have some DVDs, that's good. They're the stronger of your early game ammunitions. I'd say save them till you need them though, folks. Oh, I think I remember this part. We go about... There we go. Oh no, we came through this way. Was I supposed to go down? Well, now I'm just all confused. Let's save our progress and head back. One thing I would like to see added, and again, I don't know if Gateside Games is going to read this, or watch this, oh my gosh. Watch this or read the article on redhotgamers.co.uk, link down in the description. Can you tell the two main themes I've been plugging today? But yes, a map. Even if it just showed the explored areas, I don't know. Ooh, we've just been promoted, our health has gone up, and we're going to get paid a little more. That's great. But yeah, it may be an item that you can make in-game later on or something, but I would really enjoy seeing a map, even if it's just the rooms that you have already explored or something like that. Just because I do find myself getting lost occasionally like that there. Now that there wasn't a bad one, but oh, I know what's coming here. So we are going to consume one donut and get our DVDs ready. Oh shit, oh shit. Whew, I should not have survived that. We'll just clear up the rest of the riffraff. For those of you who are not aware, the donut is a power-up, and it just gives you a bit of extra damage, so I think it works out roughly that our paper balls are now doing the same sort of damage that the DVD would, and the DVD does more damage. And we're almost to the end of the level. What's down this way? I didn't explore down this way last time, I don't think. And we'll save our game and run off up to HR. And if you look up here, we've been playing for 15 minutes, so terrific timing. We're going to get to HR, and that's going to be the end of this. I've been in both those. We'll check out the men's room. Nothing in these rooms, that's why I didn't check them out. Not that I would ever go into a woman's bathroom, but here we go. So I guess that's the long and the short of it. We're not going to run into any zombies here. Later on, the game gets a little more difficult. The different floors you go to, they install some sentry guns as security, and you just kind of get to learn about this crazy office. It's kind of I like it because it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek look at how I live my everyday life. 40 hours in an office building, it's painful. But we're going to save and talk to Claire. She's going to tell us to go down to the basement, berate us for being too slow, even though it only took us 15 minutes. Definitely took me closer to 45 last time, so, it gets easier the more you play. And she's just going to make us go look for the guy in R&D. But yeah, so I guess my pros here, graphics are nice. They're pixel but not cheesy. Gameplay's smooth. Controls are intuitive now. It's an adorable little game overall. The story's original. Replayability is pretty high. I mean, once you've beaten the game once, you're not going to have a different game, but you can definitely try and speedrun it. You may want to do the exploration bit as well. And hopefully, I'm not 100% sure, but I'd actually like to see some achievements added to the game. I'm not seeing any right now, but hey, could be something to happen in the future. Gateside Games? Now, like I said, if you want to check out the game a little further, you can check it out on its IndieDB page, which once again I've linked down in the description, and you can read the article over on the Red Hot Gamers website. Once again, I do want to thank you for checking us out, and you all have a wonderful day.